want to cross the water with their private boats, with their big ferry boats, with their big container ships. Cruise ships come and go from San Francisco, so it's very important that we make sure that the places where they touch the land, the docks, the terminals, are safe. Shipping containers, people that are trying to get from other countries that are being smuggled in, human smuggled. And they come in and the containers get scanned. We do that. We watch the bridges and the ferry landings to make sure those are safe and that there's, like I said, there's nothing tied up to them that could explode. Anything that looks out of place, you heard see something, say something. It's a big thing in the water too, because things should look right and clean all the time. But yeah.
How often does like more training?
Yeah. We train with them pretty regularly throughout the year. We'll do some big ones a couple times a year where we practice going high speed off those boats, and that's kind of fun. We race up on ferry boats and the SWAT team guys will jump off them onto the ferry boats. It's dangerous to be moving between boats, but it's more dangerous to have a boat that's out of control, or a big ferry boat or a cruise ship or a tanker ship that was taken over.
See how it's going?
In water, this is your throttle. You pull this back here.
Does it go on water?
It does. So when you drive it into the water, you push one of those buttons and the wheels fold up.
And then it
becomes a jet ski. So if you look at the back, you can see the wheels in the back will turn, the engine will turn the wheels. But when you put it into water mode, there's a jet at the very back of this thing, just like on a jet ski, that will push thrust out and propel you through the water.
How many of these do you have? Only one?
We only have one. This was a gift.
A gift?
It was a gift from Mark Benioff. He's a billionaire that owns Salesforce.com. Billionaire, yeah.
He could get you
it's
all
a couple
like
extra
6
zeros. So when we have different lights on here. So we have the red and blue lights that we would use on land, because like I explained to you, we can use flashing red lights or solid red lights on land. And that indicates if you have a solid red light. What does solid red light mean? Stop. That means pull over to the side of the road safely. Okay. The blue lights, it works the same on land and water. But the blue lights on the water, we would turn off the red lights and just put the blue lights on. And now we're in water mode, and we can safely stop people or indicate to people on boats that we want them to stop without giving them false information about what a red light flashing on the water means.
You done this before?
Remember all the stuff, because you're going to be writing the article on that. And don't say anything.
You had a question?
You're writing it.
Is there a siren?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's like the regular police siren.
That's a siren off of a motorcycle, actually. No, it's not street legal. It's off-road only. So like a dirt bike, basically. Guys, come on in. We'll see you the next time. You get a battery?
Oh, that would be a fun deal.
Can you like squeeze in? Kind of squeeze in. Take a look. So this is our dive room. Okay, like I said, all the officers here are divers as well. Okay, so we have to go underwater if there's evidence or there's victims that need to be recovered. Guns, safes, bodies, whatever it is, we go down and we find it and we bring it back up. Okay, this here is a dive compressor. And it's made for refilling the scuba tanks. There's a big rack you guys can see when you stick your head in here of all of our scuba tanks here. We stick them inside here. These are blast proof. That basically if the tank is being filled up to 3,000 psi and something were to go wrong, you don't want that to go wrong while it's sitting next to you. So it's inside here, thick metal walls. You can go off inside there. There's 4 tanks of air on the back side of this that are full of air. And when they go low, the compressor inside here will kick on automatically and refill those. Those are held at 6,000 psi. So we fill up these tanks at 3,000 psi, and the higher pressure gives you more volume, means you can breathe for a longer period of time. So we put the tanks in here, we close the big door, and the big metal bar comes down so those things aren't getting out if anything goes wrong. A couple different ways that we dive is, you've seen scuba divers, they put the regulator in their mouth and they have to kind of bite on it. And they take the breath as they go. So when you do that, you can't really talk. And we have to pass information back and forth a lot. So this is a full-face dive mask. And what it has in it is a microphone down inside near your mouth. And there's nothing that goes in your mouth. The air just flows into the mask through here. and you can just breathe like this, and I can talk still like this. It kind of cups underneath your chin a little bit, but you can still talk, and the wires that come out of this will plug into wires in what's called a tending line. So it looks like a rope, but there's 2 wires built into that rope, and it goes back up to the surface, and the guy on the surface can talk to us, and we can talk back to them and tell them what we found, or they can tell us which direction they need us to head. And there's little speakers that go right by your ears that you can hear them as they talk. And I don't have to push any buttons, they just talk to me. They push the button to talk to me, but I just talk back to them, they can hear me all the time. And this is the same kind of thing that Navy divers or commercial divers would wear and go down very, very deep. And it's surface supplied air. So instead of wearing the scuba tank on your back, this will give you air from the surface coming down through hoses. And it just flows into the helmet. It's very comfortable to wear once you have it on there. Nothing in your mouth again. You can talk. There's microphones in this thing as well. They can pump down music to you, so you can be down there. Some guys working these things for hours at a time. And as long as they keep sending the air down the tubes to you, you're fine. Cutting anything that you get entangled in. So if one of your hoses got specialized boots that we wear. These are this is a water boot that you can see has tread on it like a regular work boot. It also has holes in the bottom and it has holes on the top. I wear a regular boot when I'm on the boat because I've never gone in the water unintentionally, and I'll take my chances if I fall in. But if I'm going to work in the water, like work on a jet ski or I'm going to dive, I want water to be able to flow through my boot and then come out the bottom. But if I need to be able to get up on and down on rocks or climb around in the bottom of the bay where who knows what's down there, I want to have something that's going to protect my foot and also give me some traction. So these special boots are made for that. You see this suit here? This is a dry suit. So right now we're drying it out. There's a special fan motor up on top that blows air down into it. You can feel it by the hand. You can feel the air coming out. It just circulates air and dries the inside and the outside at the same time. This is called an ROV, or remote operated vehicle. Okay, it's like an underwater submarine. And what this does is this keeps us from having to put divers in the water. So it has in it a little camera, as you can see on the screen. But that camera, like I told you, when you go underwater, you can't see a whole lot in the bay. It's very, very murky. So this device down here, this black item on the bottom, this is called a sonar. And this puts out another picture. It'll be on this bottom screen and give us a sonar picture just like they have in submarines. So we can see objects ahead of us, or we can navigate and kind of drive to closer where we want to go. And then when we get close, then we can use the camera and see what we're looking at. So it makes it a lot easier than having to search around in the dark with my eyes closed to feel everything I need to look at. I can use the sonar, which can kind of see through the dark. Down here on the bottom of it, it's got a attachment that we can manipulate to open and close, to grab onto objects, people, devices, whatever. It'll grab onto it. This thing is hooked up on a long tether. It's very short today. You can also put a little tiny device on the top that has wheels on it and have it suck up underneath a ship. And then I can just drive down the bottom of that ship as it sucks up against it and just look for anything that looks out of place. And then if I find something out of place, then maybe I send a diver right down just to that object and search it. You can see that controller over there. Push that joystick one way there just a little bit.
This, huh?
Just push and let it go. See that? So that pushes the fins and the propellers. Yep. So propellers, just spin it. Just gets it to go whichever way you want to go, left, right, and then this one on the top will make it go up and down. Okay. That controller looks a little complicated. So you know what they did? They made it easier for folks that they figure are going to be coming along to learn how to drive these things, and they hooked it up to a game controller. Xbox. You guys are going to be our future for driving these things using an Xbox controller. We won't be using those big old style like that. Let me show you this thing over here. So what this is called a line gun.
Yeah, use that for the sharks.
Nah, we don't have harpoons. We're not shooting no sharks. This here, inside this bucket down here is a rope, or we call it line. When you're on a boat, a rope that has a purpose is called a line. Okay, looks the same, acts the same. If I bring it up on the land and I'm storing it like that right there, that's rope hanging up right there because it doesn't have a purpose right now. It's just being stored, it's rope. In here it's line because it's a rescue line. And inside of here, I have what looks like a small scuba tank. What I do is I put the scuba tank inside, I hook it to this rope, I put this thing up on my shoulder, and I point it up in the air and I pull the trigger. It opens the valve on that scuba tank really fast and shoots it through the air.
So air pressure.
Air pressure. All that 3,000 PSI propels this thing through the air like a rocket, and it pulls the rope as it does. So if we have somebody that is down, fell in the water near the cliffs, or they floated in the cliff area where I can't bring the boat in because they'll just chew my boat up, I can shoot this in there and get them the line. Once this hits, it automatically inflates itself. So now you have like a life ring that blows up, and you can grab onto that, and we can pull you back to the boat out of that rocky area back onto where we're at, get you out of the water. And then it just folds up, and we store it on the boat. Keep it there on every one of our boats so it's ready to go no matter what boat we're driving that day. You see behind you here, we got wetsuit.
Hi guys, I'm Officer Ryder. This is Officer Thomas back there.
Quiet down,
So
listen up.
we're gonna take you guys onto the docks. So the docks move a little bit from time to time, not very much. You don't have to worry about it too much, but we can't be screwing around on the dock because if one of you guys goes in the water, Officer Thomas has been a cop a lot longer than me, so I'll have to go in after you, and it's cold. All right, so let's not play around on the docks.
Destroyed this beautiful boat, and you know they almost killed themselves. And I'm thinking, as I'm driving, like, or I wasn't driving, but I was in the boat going, oh my God, what did I get myself into? It's my first day here, and here we're going out to this huge, and it was rough out there. I mean, it was like 15, 20-foot waves, and we were just coming out, just boom, going out to it. And I was thinking, man, I love the water, but this is nuts.
So how many people can fit on each of these different rigs?
Relative to you guys, like officers.
So the thing is we have 15 life jackets on this boat, but we don't. The only reason why we would have 15 people on this is if it was a rescue.
Okay.
Ideally, we're going to take no more than 10. You know, if we have our bigger boat, like I said, if we had our bigger boat, we could probably take you guys out. But we just.
I was just curious for like how many officers you guys do put on.
Yeah, so we have 15 life jackets, but that's if in a pinch we could probably put 40 people on this boat.
Oh wow, okay.
But as a pure rescue, you know, and again, for us, safety first all the time. So we don't want to be
just pushing anything.
right. Yeah, exactly.
So like if a boat went under, we're not going to store our stuff on it and sink after it and go after it. We have to slow everything down. It's just too dangerous for us to do.
So the 3 seats are shock mitigating. 1, 2, 3. It's involved just bench. NDT per monitor, so we can run people. So then on the controls over here on your right, you have your far right for your throttles. This is
No.
yeah, you put it- these ones. So the far right ones are 2 or 3 throttles, left and right. And then the next one's over are the bucket controls, where the bucket goes up or down. Does this have a night vision? This does have night vision. That's FLIR.
Like, what does it show the night vision?
That big screen right there. Yep. And then that knob off to the right that says FLIR on it.
Yeah.
That's the controls for the unit itself.
You guys have a radar?
It has radar, it has AIS, same thing as the thing upstairs.
Wait, how about this one? This
Upstairs?
smaller screen here. What is this for?
That's for sonar.
Oh.
So we can look at the bottoms.
Oh,
Water,
right, yeah.
the sea floor.
This is like
Okay. What does this person do?
That person is usually the lookout.
Yeah,
So you have your coxswain, the person on the right driving the boat. Then you have a lookout on the left, or also maybe using the radios.
How many people usually on the boat when you guys go out?
3 to 4.
It's
pretty
like,
far to see.
Alright guys,
Hey,
we gotta
go.
rotate out because everybody else wants to get on too.
hey, what's that?
Okay.
Oh, hey.
So when y'all dock it back, how is it like? Is it hard to dock back?
No. At first, yes, if you don't know what you're doing. This boat will actually move sideways because the way it's configured, it's a jet drive.
Sideways.
Yeah. So I can take the one bucket and dump it in reverse if I want to go that way. If I dump my right bucket in reverse, and leave my left bucket forward, and then kind of turn my wheel, and this boat will just go sideways.
So these guns is loaded up here.
So what's like the combined shaft horsepower of these two?
These are 425 horsepower each. They're 425 horsepower Cummins diesel motors, engines. We have 2 of them, so that's 850 horsepower. They're Hamilton drive, jet driven boats.